Is this on? I think this is on. Hello, everyone. So today I thought it would be fitting to play Pro Evo, do a video on it, since in a couple of hours my team, Benfica, are playing against our rivals, Porto. One of the classic matches here in Portugal. So I thought I'd make a video on Pro Evolution 2016. I'm going to be focusing on the Master League. I'm using the webcam. I'm recording with AMD Gaming Evolved. I'm not sure if there's latency or lag in the sound or something like that. If there is, I'm sorry. I'm trying out this new recording setting. Anyway, here's my wonderful team. I'm controlling Nottingham Forest on the English Championship, which is the second league. This is my star player, Nelson Oliveira, who is Portuguese and is actually on loan from Benfica. Excuse me. Let me have a sip of coffee. Nice and cold. This is Iturbe, who's been injured for a while, and I've got Nakoma, who's my left winger. Asombalonga, who, sorry, that's probably inappropriate. He was actually really fast, lots of pace. So my bench is going to be all forwards. And most of these players came on as free agents because the team doesn't have much in the way of a budget. Currently, I have 16 million, but when I joined, we had like 10 million, and I spent all of that in hiring and signing Iturbe. Iturbe, I have no idea how to pronounce that, but he's really good. As you can see down there in the bottom, the stats, got lots of pace, technique. So yeah, and we're playing against Bolton Wanderers. As you can see, well, if you're not familiar with Pro Evolution Soccer, the game, unlike FIFA, the game doesn't come with the actual leagues, with licensed teams and licensed kits and all that. So what you can do is get a patch, and there are tons of different patches out there. Let me move the mic out of the way. And it's going to be difficult to play well and talk at the same time. I'm playing in the highest difficulty setting. Like I was saying, you can get patches. You can see up there in the ads where it says tugavicio.com at the top of the screen right now. That's where I got this patch from, which has the Portuguese league, obviously, which interests me. Might not interest a lot of people, most people, I would say, but you can get other ones. This particular one has the German leagues and the first and second division of most of the most popular leagues, with updated transfers and rosters and kits and a few additional bonuses like turfs, like HD turfs. The graphics look a bit meh. I use Sweet Effects to make things look a bit prettier. That's a wonderful goal by Nelson. This particular patch comes with pre-installed Sweet Effects that you can apply. There's one that I really like, which gives a bluish tint to the shadows and sharpens the image a bit. Looks really nice. As is, because I'm recording, I had to disable sweet effects, so it looks quite bland. That's a good shot. So the game doesn't look very difficult because obviously in the championship, the teams are not as strong as what you'd find in the Premiership, the Premier League. But once you do get that, it gets quite hard, especially against like the big clubs. So what can be said about Pro Evolution 2016? It's way better than its predecessors in almost every way. Offline, that is. We'll get to the online in a second. I'll give you my thoughts on that, but offline, the single player modes and like couch co-op is just awesome. It controls really well, really snappy. You don't have to wait for animation loops to end, for you to change directions or to do. Sorry, I'm distracted. Or to dribble, feint, do things like that. You can do them, with milliseconds of response time rather than a whole second, like in the 2013 and others. It's not as arcadey as 2009 or even 2000 I think every Pro Evo before 2009 was really arcadey. It's not as much now. It's very realistic, especially from a strategy point of view. You really need to focus when you're defending. It can be really challenging. So you have to control, as you can see, I'm controlling this player here, and then I'll use another player to pressure the man who's got the ball. And when you're defending, you kind of have to do the same thing. You have to control a player, put him in a position where you think the opposition is going to pass the ball to, and then pressure using another player. So you're effectively controlling two players at once most of the time. And stuff like that is probably what keeps people away from this franchise, and people tend to prefer FIFA because it's more accessible. It comes with all the licenses, so you don't have to patch it. And I'm not going to say that one is better than the other. It's just different games. Some people prefer FIFA. Some people prefer Pro Evo. FIFA is way better when it comes to online play. I can tell you that much. Konami has tried to copy FIFA with the online stuff, and they've basically turned it into a microtransaction outlet. They really want to make some more monies, because I think FIFA has been really successful with that. But as opposed to FIFA, the netcode on this game online is abysmal. It's horrible. There's a ton of latency. It's like you're playing a completely different game from the single player experience. So I just stay away from that. I tried it for a while and it was just really frustrating. No fun at all. What else? The goalkeepers, pretty decent. You don't get like those crazy blunders that are traditional from Pro Evo. Well, you do once in a while, but not as bad as it used to be. Unfortunately, I think they've gone a bit over the top with like the world-class keepers like Courtois or someone like that. they're just so difficult to beat. Like when you're playing against Chelsea, it can be super frustrating. You'll have like 50 attempts on goal and you just can't score. But for the most part, it's really well balanced. The higher the difficulty, the harder it is to score. Even if you turn on some of the assists. What's this? Is this Barcelona? Come on. Ugh. Okay. So on the higher difficulty levels, it's a bit harder to score. You have to really control the power that you put into each shot and the direction. That's not offside. Good. It's really physical, the game, which I quite like. I don't like it when, you know, the gameplay keeps stopping at every single contact. I like it, you know, I like the game to be quite physical. Yeah. What else? You can like pass through a few players without using like feints or dribbles or anything like that. You can just run and change speed, which is really cool. So you can go at a normal speed and then suddenly just change direction and speed and use that to run at opponents. And as you can see, this guy Medo was, you know, I waited until he got closer and then just changed direction and pace, and then I shot against one of my fellow players. But you can also use dribble, and you've got a ton of tricks there you can pull. You can go into the practice mode and learn all of those. You basically use, you go like this, you can use the right thumbstick to pull that stuff off, and it's quite responsive. Yeah, the game has a bit of a steep learning curve. You really have to enjoy this game, you have to dedicate time to learning it. I don't think you can just come into this game and play a couple of matches and be like, oh yeah, this is a great game. You'll probably end up being frustrated. You really need to put in the hours to learn all the controls and the strategy behind it. The AI is really clever on these higher difficulty levels. So like if they get ahead, they make it really hard for you to come back. You know, they'll play defensively and you're offside. Not really. Once you get close to the opponent's area, the defenders get really aggressive and won't give you much time to do plays like this one that I try to do, like a 1-2. And some teams, like especially big clubs, will pressure really high on the pitch. What else? It's difficult to think of what to say while I'm playing. I'm sorry, guys. I really like the way both crossings, headings, and shots are handled. So you can, if you hold down the right trigger, you can choose between a power shot or a curling shot, and that applies to crosses, headings, and shots on target or off target, for that matter. It's not a good idea to, once you're in defense, the best thing to do is to just kick the ball away, because in these higher difficulty levels, the opposition rarely misses a chance. They always get it on target. Now Konami has gotten a bit of flack because they've, mostly because of the online stuff they did with the game, and deservedly so, because it's a bit disgusting, and also because they didn't update the teams with the transfers from last summer. So the game came out after the summer signings, transfers, but it still had the teams as they finished last season. And then they updated it for the online mode only. So I don't know what's wrong with Konami. They don't know if they're greedy, if it's like a management decision. I know they've been cancelling a lot of the franchises, like gaming franchises, and focusing on gambling and stuff like that in Japan. So it's not even clear if we're going to have another Pro Evo, which would be a shame considering they're now finally getting the game into really nice balanced gameplay and incrementing it each year. Last year's wasn't too bad, but it was a bit sluggish when it came to the controls and the players' reactions, but they've improved upon it, and they've used the same engine from last year, which I think is their Fox engine, the one they use in Metal Gear Solid. And some people were whining about the graphics being the same as last year. I don't really care that much. I don't think you play this sort of game for the graphics, to be honest. I don't even think they're that bad. Should we do another game? So you get a report at the end of each day. So there's going to be a testimonial match for retiring players, which is a bit silly, but whatever. So our scout found a few players for us. Oh, this looks good. He's 19 and he's the left back. He's already at 75. It's pretty good. Might put an offer on him because he's probably really cheap. Oh yeah, you can also, did I mention that? You can change clubs. So you can get an offer to join a different team, to manage another team. It's not super in-depth. This is not exactly Football Manager, but there's enough depth in here to make it rewarding. I think that's the way I'd describe the game, the Master League mode. Let's just put this Pluim, I don't know where he's from. I want to give him a chance. Who am I taking off? McNish. You need to get all your players, to have them all be happy and playing regularly. Otherwise, they won't renew the contract at the end of the season, which can be a bit of a pain. So I'm actually going to take Oliveira out. We're playing against Brighton. I'm going to put Adebayor and Zaza. No, actually, Ward. Yeah. So I'll do another match and then we'll call it a day. Because the actual match is going to start in a bit. Hopefully Benfica will do well tonight. Oh, this looks really dark. This is one of the stadiums where the light is really weird. I don't know why. So apologies for that. Oops, didn't mean to do that. You can cancel an action by pressing the bumper, right bumper and the right trigger. This is something that I think is a bit silly. If you don't do anything and you're playing against a team that's just playing for, for a point, for a draw, they won't pressure you at all. You can just stay there in defense and do nothing. And no one just, they just sit there for the most part, which is a bit silly. Obviously against teams who actually want to win, that doesn't happen. And that's going to be a yellow card probably. Ooh, get it. So there's no point in getting the ball out there for fair play purposes, because you won't get rewarded for it. Nothing happens. They just continue on playing. So that player was down. Normally you would throw the ball out. It's good sportsmanship. But the game doesn't really acknowledge that in any way, so just keep going and score. So all that you see here was done on purpose. This is the great thing about this game. The pass was perfectly weighted, and the movement from Ward was also, I also requested it using the right thumbstick, and the shot had to have the right amount of power to it, so not very much in this case, and you have to choose the direction, whether you want it to be, right, left, or center, a high shot, curling shot. So that was just a really quick reaction shot with not a lot of power. I'm rambling a bit, but that's just to explain that you get a lot of control when it comes to the outcome of what the players are actually doing, which is really, really rewarding. And you can see that the team has now changed. Ooh, that was close. The opposition has now changed their strategy to offensive. Let's see if we can, I think we can see that in the manage game plan menu. No, can't see it anywhere. But there are a few settings here, like you can set the offside trap on and things like that. Sometimes it's useful. You can also do it manually. I probably shouldn't be doing this in this part of on my own half. A bit dangerous, but I have to try and draw the opposition in forward, because they still have a really low defensive line. So yeah, you request that the player goes forward, and then you wait the pass in, a through pass, which can be a high pass or a low pass. Yeah, I'm running out of things to say. So let's just enjoy this match. Very physical, as you saw there. Oof. Get it off. Best strategy when you're defending is to just get the ball away as quickly as possible. Shouldn't try and control the ball there, unless you're playing with Barcelona or something like that. Oh, good one. What? No way, that's offside. Okay, it is. So Adebayor, despite his 30-something years... Oh, thank you. It's very kind of you. Let's get the ball in. Oh, that was close. So Adebayor is quite quick. He's still got pace, at least here. I should have probably just try and put the ball over the keeper, but I didn't see him come out, so try to go for power. So as you can see, I don't know if you noticed there, I was trying to hold the player, and then called another player to pressure him. So that's what what I meant to say when I said previously that you're controlling two players at once. That would have been a great goal, but it's a bit ambitious in that position. Oh, move out of the way. And that's a great goal. From probably one of the shortest players on the field. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, he got in front of the defender, which is something that you have to do. They won't do that automatically most of the time. So after you've crossed, you kind of start moving downwards, and the player that's going to receive the cross makes that movement and gets in front of the defender. It's really clever, really it simulates a lot of what football has, or soccer, whatever you want to call it. Many of the details that make the game fun. I was trying to show off a bit with the only player that can in this team. Oof, almost lost it there. And that's a great goal. And this is one of my favorite features, is you can control the game while celebrating. And all of your mates will just follow you, and you can celebrate. Yay. It's kind of hilarious. So silly. I don't know if Konami did that on purpose. I would imagine they did so. It shows that at least their devs have some sense of humor. So that was a curling shot. So you hold down the right trigger. So first I stopped the motion here. As you can see, I controlled it back, got the player out of the way, and then curled the shot away from the keeper. And that's all under your control. None of that is randomly generated. So you really need to delve deep into the training sessions and learn all the skills and moves. Even if you're coming from an older version of Pro Evo, there's still a bit of a learning curve. There we go. Okay, first half is over. Already 3-0 up. The opposition is not exactly the strongest. No disrespect to Brighton fans. I like Brighton. I've been there. Very nice. I like the pier. Okay, that player just sat there. Let's just get the ball out of here. So you can see the defender there following along, not letting my player get into free space, which is really clever. The AI is really competent, which adds to the fun of the game. I found a space there. Control. Oh, that was close. You can see how he receives the ball and changes direction with his head there. That's really cool. And I tried to get a curling shot with the outside of the boot, but didn't get it. Some players will have some abilities and others won't. Like Gaetan, who's a winger for Benfica. He has like his signature moves are done really well actually. Ooh, that was a really good goal, I have to say. From Murphy. So those curling shots with the outside of the boot, you can get them. Some players will do them really well, others not so much. And I really like the detail there of his teammate getting out of the way. Let's see, let me show you that. Let's fast forward a bit. Great team play. You can see here this guy getting out of the way. That's really cool. That is really cool. They've done a really good job with the AI. It's not that they didn't have details like this in the past, but they were kind of on rails. They weren't dynamically generated. Here it feels a lot more fluid. Oh, that was rubbish. It feels really fluid, really organic, the way everything, every move melds into another one, and you never see the same goal twice, which is really cool. So for corners, you get this directional guide. You can turn it off if you want. So I'm going to cover that side over there, as you can see. So that forced the player to go back, and my team got some time to recover. So there's a lot of strategy that's involved in the things that you do to try. Otherwise, your team will be completely caught off guard, and players will move out of position, stuff like that. So you need to be controlling a lot of things at once. This defender read what I was going to do. It was a bit obvious, but yeah, didn't have that many options. Oh, that's a wonderful goal from Adebayor. Again, everything that happened there was completely under my control, which is awesome. So I got the cross early, and then headed towards the furthermost corner of the goal. Yeah, good goal. I should probably bring some players in as well. 65 minutes, probably have a few players who are tired. Well, this guy's completely dead. That's bringing Pluam, whatever his name is, and Zaza, and Barrios, who hasn't had much of a chance to play. I got him for free at the end of his contract. Can get low crosses in as well by double tapping. Well, double tap will give you kind of a mid-height cross. Triple tapping will give you a really low cross. Come on. Come on. No. Ugh. This is why you need to get the ball out as quickly as you can, because they will shoot as soon as they get a chance to do so. Okay. Ah, that was terrible. I didn't mean to do that. So yeah, I can't give enough praise to at least the Master League mode. Some of the other modes are not that interesting. Online is to be ignored completely. It's awful. And yeah, get it. If you want to try something different from the previous Pro Evos or from FIFA, and this is a really good option. Ooh, shouldn't have done that. I was gonna get a foul anyway, but they've got some fight in them. Ah, that was close. I got too much power in that one, because I thought he wasn't going to get it. Excuse me. Central defender, showing up my forwards how it's done. Vla, who is in the World Cup last year. Oh, that would have been nice. Excuse me, I'm getting quite sleepy. Again, apologies for kind of the darkish color on this stadium. I don't know if it's because it's like the afternoon or something. I don't know. You can see it gets brighter once you get closer to the shadows areas here. Maybe that's what they're trying to go for. This guy is really tall. Let's try to guess that where he was going to pass the ball. And that's that. That's a quick look at Pro Evolution Soccer 2016, the Master League. Hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, thanks for watching, and good luck Benfica tonight. Bye. So many menus. Playing against Burnley next. They used to be in the Premier League, so I'm 5 points away, five points behind QPR, and 7 points ahead. It shouldn't be too difficult to move to the Premiership. Anyway, that's all from me. Goodbye.